Once, in a small village by a great river, there lived an 18-year-old fisherman named Kwame. Every morning, before the sun painted the sky with its golden hue, Kwame would rise, take his net, and walk to the riverbank. He cast his net with care, hoping to catch enough fish to feed his family and sell at the market. But for weeks, the river seemed to mock his efforts, yielding only small, slippery fish that barely filled his basket. Kwame was not a child, nor was he yet a man of many years. At 18, he carried the hopes of his family on his shoulders, as his father had passed away when Kwame was just a boy. Now he was the provider, and though his heart was young, his responsibilities were great. He worked hard, never complaining, even when his hands grew rough and his back ached from the weight of the empty nets. One morning, as Kwame sat by the river, mending his worn-out net, an old man appeared beside him. His eyes were deep and kind, reflecting years of wisdom. "Why do you cast your net in the shallow waters, Kwame?" the old man asked. Kwame looked up, surprised. "This is where I have always fished," he replied. "The deep waters are uncertain and frightening." The old man smiled gently. "If you want to catch bigger fish, you must cast your net where the waters are deep. Trust the river, and it will reward you." That night, Kwame lay awake, thinking about the old man's words. The deep waters seemed dangerous, but what if there was truth in his advice? As the first light of dawn broke, Kwame made his decision. He would trust the deep waters. The next morning, Kwame stood at the river's edge, staring at the deeper waters that seemed to stretch into the unknown. Fear whispered in his heart, but the old man's words echoed louder. Summoning his courage, Kwame pushed his small boat into the river and rowed until he reached the deeper currents. With a deep breath, he cast his net far and wide. The hours passed slowly. The sun climbed high, and Kwame began to wonder if he had made a mistake. The deep waters were silent, and doubt crept into his mind. Memories of his mother's worried face, the empty kitchen, and his younger siblings waiting for food gnawed at his resolve. But just as he thought of turning back, he felt a powerful tug on his net. With all his strength, he pulled and pulled, and when he finally lifted the net, it was bursting with the largest, most beautiful fish he had ever seen. Tears of joy filled Kwame's eyes as he rowed back to shore, his boat heavy with the river's gifts. That day, Kwame sold his fish at the market for a great price and shared his abundance with his neighbors. When they asked him how he had caught such a bounty, he simply said, "I trusted the deep waters." News of Kwame's success spread through the village, and soon young and old alike came to him, eager to learn his secret. But Kwame did not keep the knowledge to himself. He took them to the river, showed them how to mend their nets with care, how to watch the flow of the water, and most importantly, how to venture into the deep without fear. Fishing in the deep requires more than a strong net, he would say. It takes patience, faith, and the belief that what you seek is waiting for you, even if you cannot see it yet. The villagers learned not only to catch bigger fish, but also to support one another, sharing their catch during lean times and celebrating together in times of plenty. The river, once a source of struggle, became a symbol of hope and opportunity for the entire village. As the seasons passed, Kwame grew into a respected young leader, not because of the fish he caught, but because of the dreams he inspired. He understood that life, like the river, rewards those who dare to go beyond what is safe and familiar. And though there were still days when the nets came up empty, Kwame never stopped casting them, for he had learned that success was not measured by a single catch, but by the courage to keep fishing. The story of Kwame reminds us that the storms of life will test us, but we must never be content with what is easy and familiar. The biggest rewards come when we dare to cast our nets beyond our comfort zones. By dreaming big, working hard, and believing in the journey, we too can turn our hopes into reality. And when we do, sharing our success makes the reward even sweeter. For just as the river held great fish for Kwame, life holds great blessings for those who are willing to reach beyond the shore and into the deep waters of possibility. Thanks for watching. If you love this story, kindly subscribe to this channel to motivate us to bring you more educational and interesting videos. You can also leave your comment in the comment section.